Oh, hey there, and welcome to the Ope-Eh Three-Way Pro Wrestling Podcast on this episode 55. 55, fellas. It's Pierce and Donnie here, by the way, as well. Fellas, as always, it's great to be with you, but I want to know, how are you feeling today?
It's been a day. I'm glad to be talking with the boys, the guys, the homies, whatever you want to call yourselves. I'm glad to be here talking about some graps. Donnie, how are you today?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's all I got here.
That's how you're doing? You're doing hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Getting a little rusty on that.
Well, it worked out because of that wrong button then did work. So
Yes.
you'd say you did it on purpose.
Well. We're working.
At least we know the button works.
The buttons work. I'm doing good.
Got ourselves a little bit of a hat trick today.
We do have a hat trick. It was a crazy weekend in professional wrestling, and then we got another PLE NXT show this weekend. So we got a lot to cover today, boys. And if you're wondering where we'll be while we're covering this, you can follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and follow the new shows every Thursday on Spotify and YouTube. I was crushing that, and you fucking threw me off.
I do.
You can also find us on Dropkick, Twitch, and a few other places that we don't post on yet, but maybe eventually. Hey, Don, is there another button you want to press? I'm about to fucking rescind your button privileges, bud.
He's still so excited.
I made the button.
You made the buttons, but we'll go back to 1990. I'm doing this one specifically for you, Donnie, because you'll find this just fucking ridiculous. Herb Abrams' Universal Wrestling Federation, which if you guys don't know, was a very short-lived federation in the early 90s. There's a Dark Side of the Ring episode on it, which is fucking fantastic. They had their first ever televised show. Guess how many matches were on it?
Well, if it's anything like Tony Khan's AEW, 308.
You got the first number right. There's two. They had 21 fucking matches on this card.
Oh my god.
Oh, no, thank you.
Tony Khan's wet dream.
That's too ultimate for me.
It's Universal, boys.
21.
And that's why it only lasted like 3 years.
That's just...
We'll jump ahead 6 years, WWF In Your House triple header. The main event was a winner-take-all tag match between WWF champion Diesel and his partner, Intercontinental champion Shawn Michaels, against the tag champs of Yokozuna and Owen Hart. During the show, Owen was like missing, and so the British Bulldog would take his place. Near the end of the match, Owen would come back and he would end up getting pinned, causing the loss of their titles to the Intercontinental Champion and Big Diesel. And the next night on Raw, they returned the titles back to Yoko and Owen because Owen technically wasn't part of the match. So,
what a
mid-90s WWF, boys, it was shit.
Jeez.
What an odd position for Diesel to be in too, having the WWF Championship over Shawn Michaels. I don't know whether or not it's weird because it's two of Vince's things. Like, he loves Shawn, but he also loves big guys. So, but you would expect Shawn to have the title over Diesel. That's the one. That's the button.
We'll jump ahead to 2000. WWF Unforgiven. Matt and Jeff Hardy would defeat the Great Canadians of Edge and Christian in a cage match for the titles. You're doing that despite the Canadian loss?
Yeah.
And in the main event, Dwayneson would retain the WWF title against Kane, Undertaker, and he ended up pinning Redacted, another Canadian.
Well, that about sums it up.
And finally, we're going to give a little birthday to the newest member of the WWE Hall of Fame, Stephanie McMahon. because she got
No, she's not
at
inducted
WrestlePalooza,
yet.
The Undertaker,
The first announced to be inducted. She's
first
not,
announced inductee
yeah,
of 2026 Hall of Fame.
she's not inducted
The
yet.
Undertaker made an appearance at WrestlePalooza Saturday, came out and surprised Stephanie with this announcement. I think we were all pretty surprised because maybe besides when Andre was just kind of made the first Hall of Famer when he passed away, this has to be the earliest announced induction.
Yeah, I would think
Yeah,
so.
curious as to the logic behind that.
Triple H surprising his wife for her birthday, maybe,
Yeah.
or his wife.
Stands to
I should
reason.
say.
So when does Vince get in?
That'd be it
Stands-
when he dies.
Mm.
I don't
yeah.
mean that in like a I hope he dies type of way. I
No,
mean
I
like
know that.
even
It's
if
not
he
just
was
being
still
an edgelord, but like it's
if he was still in charge of the company, he would not be going into the Hall of Fame until he passed away. He would just not allow it. And
yeah.
and now with what we know, I mean, he'll probably go in. It's not. I mean, it's still very bad, but it's not as bad as Benoit. So it's not where he's just going to be stricken from the record. I mean, he's on the new opening Sting for the Then Now Forever Together.
Oh, is he?
So
I didn't even notice that.
He was also in the promo for WrestlePalooza when they
that's
were
what it
opening the
was. He
show.
was in the ESPN promo for WrestlePalooza.
Mhm.
So
you could hear the crowd just gasp in unison. Oh, Vince!
I don't see Vince going in unless he passes away, or next year in Saudi.
Like,
That would
don't get me
track.
wrong. Like, Stephanie deserves the induction 100% for her contribution as an on-screen character and as VP of External, I think,
Everything.
or something like that. She was international, whatever it was, for a
And
long time.
she invented women's wrestling in 2015. We can't forget that.
Let's not get carried away. But at the same time, it's like Vince probably should have been inducted before her.
I get what you're saying. It's just it's not plausible at this time. And even if he was in
I
charge,
guess
wouldn't be plausible.
too many people are too butthurt about stuff.
It's very possible that this could be just a McMahon year. Shane and Vince could get inducted too. Because I mean, if say what you will about Brock, and we said no witch hunts, but a lot of people are not happy that he's back,
Right.
and him being named in the lawsuit and coming back, it might just be the company tiptoeing into bringing Vince back in some capacity, probably just not as an on-screen character. He's never going to be writing or doing anything ever again, and nor should he, because he's so fucking past the age of being a good creative head. So
Well, we'll talk about that element, I'm sure, when we review WrestlePalooza, but that's the second part of our three-parter, because I think there's been a lot of
the first part is
there's a lot of commentary associated to his creative over the last while, but for now, we'll talk about All Out. All Out was this past Saturday at the lovely Scotiabank Arena here in downtown Toronto. I was in attendance. Before we get into the actual 14 matches that happened, because of course Tony Khan had to throw another one in there for some reason. Quick shout out to the family. I'm not going to blame this. I'm going to say a little bit about my experience, not very much, because I'll get into that as we get into the matches. Shout out to the family that allowed their seemingly 7-year-old kid to curse, swear, scream, and kick my chair the entire show. You're shit parents. Fuck you.
Say, don't we have a button for that? I feel like there's a button that expresses that sentiment pretty fully as well.
There's a direction you can fuck.
And
there you go.
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, all of those. All of
collectively
those.
in unison.
And it's I'm never gonna tell a kid to stop, but just shitty parenting to allow your brat to do that for hours on end.
Well, you could have done what those people on Reddit did and just talked to the customer service and see if you can get switch seats, because apparently on the floor side it was very, very stinky.
Oh yeah, I saw
some
that
people
too. Fucking clowns.
Some people did not shower. This goes without saying. Hygiene matters. Brush your teeth.
Yes.
Take a shower. Use deodorant. Wear new clothes. It's not fucking hard. I've been around some fucking conventions where it is rough. And just
Shouldn't
fucking
be.
do it.
Man, it shouldn't be.
Just do it. Yeah, big PSA there.
Jesus.
No argument.
Yeah, Pierce Schulteis announcement.
Very good.
Haha.
So there was 14 matches. We're going to skim through some of these. We'll talk in detail about some of these. Definitely skimming through the pre-show matches, of which there was 4. Originally there was 3, then they moved it to 4. The Ops, Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs defeated the Workhorsemen of Anthony Henry and JD Drake in 5 minutes.
Happened.
Yep. After that, Daniel Garcia defeated Katsuyori Shibata in almost 15 minutes.
Also happened, but a good start for Death Rider Daniel Garcia.
Then in a trios match, Hologram and Paragon, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, defeated the Frat House of Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, and Preston Vance in 3 minutes.
Preston Vance is
3
still
minutes.
with the company.
It seems so.
Good lord.
Part of
Good
the
for him.
Frat House. It's as bad as you
That-
think it would be.
Sounds like those guys on Evolve who are like frat boys. Is it
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, swipe right or
Yeah, swipe right. Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Harley Cameron,
yeah.
Mina Shirakawa. We're not taking any more time to talk about that match. Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale defeated Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, and the Triangle of Madnesses, Julia Hart and Sky Blue in 11.5 minutes in a 8-woman tornado tailgate brawl. Which is weird because you're not allowed to tailgate in the city of Toronto. Don't really get that.
Lost you for a second there, Don, but yeah, I called this. I'm happy. Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale deserve everything because, like I said last week, they are the best.
Sure. Just know that everything that I said during
Yeah,
that was recorded, so anything that you missing it was just me saying the result, and the audio will have that. So we're good.
Huzzah.
Yes.
What was opening match?
Opening match was a big match. Arguably could have been a main event. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage defeated FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood in 18 minutes.
It looked like it was a good match. I didn't watch. I figure I get play-by-play from you and X, and I seemed like I did. But there was a big surprise near the end of this match, wasn't there?
Yep, that would be the seemingly debut of Beth Phoenix. She had another Alter Bridge intro song, came in with a stage graphic and everything, and helped save the day for the heroes until she ended up getting like Spike Pile Driver later. But
Yeah, and Stokely once again ate some shit. He's pretty good at that.
well, it's because he has
And
no hose, apparently.
He gets no hose.
Yeah,
He's bald,
why he
short,
got
and
no
gets no
hose.
hose.
yeah.
And then there was an attack after where both Cage and Beth ate a pile driver, right?
Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, they could have. I understand why they're keeping this going. It probably could have stopped at the 1, but if they want to keep it going, fine with me. It seemed like these two teams have fairly good chemistry. FTR it's very hard to have a bad match with FTR. I mean, when it comes to the top tag teams of all time, they're in the conversation. So,
Yep.
Brandon, what do you think?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I was up in Green Bay this weekend, getting to watch the old Packers lose to a field goal to the Brownies. But
I don't want to talk
I
about
did
that.
catch.
I don't want to get
great
angry.
use of your time.
I'd
Sorry.
rather.
Can we get a poll on the podcast? Whose team is currently undefeated 3-0 and whose team isn't?
Well,
Circle them wagons, bitches.
yeah. Listen, we start slow, we pick it up. This is what we do. It'll be okay. I have faith. We each have. I feel like we have every season like one game where it's like we should have fucking won that. There's no excuse, and then the shit falls off, and then we catch on, and then we glide.
I mean, you're
So,
still better than
we'll
see how
Pierce's
that-
fantasy football team, so there's that.
I was waiting until we were going to start ragging on Pierce's fantasy football team.
That's whatever. Fantasy's not real life. What is real life is what
Pro
happened on
wrestling?
Saturday, which we need to get back to.
No, that was too easy to segue
This
that
is not
into.
the Ope football way. This is the Ope three-way, boys.
We could do a fucking football-related podcast, and I would have fun roasting everybody else's shitty-ass team. But
Wow.
sorry, Pierce. You already covered your stuff. Brandon, what did you think of the match? You said you were away, but you caught bits of it, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
no, I definitely caught the highlights. I mean, it's about what you'd expect. I'm glad that like FTR and CNC gelled so well. I think you could build a series out of it. I'm still disappointed this was not for the tag titles in any capacity, given the location and the match itself. But satisfied with the result. Nice to see Beth Copeland again as she's going by via commentary. Um,
I wouldn't have known
so
that watching it live, but it did have a phoenix on the damn
it did.
Well,
It didn't have. It didn't say Phoenix on the video though, did it? It
Phoenix,
just said Beth.
Beth Phoenix might be trademarked, so
It is. Yeah, it's definitely trademarked.
there's a reason why he's
But
Cope and not Edge.
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of what you'd expect. But like again, great to see Beth. I mean, if she's going to be a feature in the women's division, very, very strong. Um, yeah, it was nice. It was good to see CNC in form against one of the top teams
Yep,
in the world.
very solid match. Edge didn't do anything stupid, which is always good.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
the Cena spot was probably one of the loudest spots for the crowd the entire night. Having a John Cena
Yeah, that was
chant
great.
go through an AEW pay-per-view. I don't know how Tony Khan would have felt about that, but it happened.
Well,
It sure did.
it's Edge paying tribute to a guy who paid tribute to him. So,
True.
and not Roman Reigns, as Michael Cole said
Oh
he
my
did.
God, Cole was slipping that night. I think there was like
He's been slipping a lot lately.
guy needs a vacation.
He's drunk.
He needs a vacation or something.
Yeah.
There's enough guys too on the broadcast team that they could give him like an extended little rest up.
Oh,
period.
definitely.
But maybe he doesn't want it, and that's
Definitely.
cool. Like that's his choice. But
He's only had 2 days off, like that he's taken off and missed in the past 30 years.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, if you love what you do, I guess, but still,
true.
right. But yes, great match.
What else we got here? Next up, Eddie Kingston defeated Big Bill in 7.5 minutes.
7.5.
So let's be glad that Eddie is back. As a character, he's fucking great. His promos are the most real on the roster besides MJF. He can build a match with the best of them, and then the match happens.
And then the bell.
He's good.
Fucking sucks.
He's good in a brawl. He's good in a plunder match, but in a straight wrestling match, he thinks he's Misawa. He thinks he's Kobashi. Like he does these machine gun chops that are really stupid. And then he missed clean as a whistle. He missed his finish.
He's multiple times he's missed that spinning back fist finish. I remember he missed it at what was it? What's the cage match? The team-based cage match that they have in AEW.
Blood and Guts?
Blood and Guts. Yeah, he missed it in Blood and Guts too last time he was in one of those. Like clear on missed it. It looks like shit. Like
he hit it on CM Punk in their full gear match, which looked actually pretty legit.
Clean on Punk.
Well, Punk probably said you could hit him in the head. Like he probably wouldn't have cared so much. But
Punk also called Eddie Kingston a bum. Was he wrong?
No.
Based on the consensus we're trying to gather here, I guess.
I'm
the
sorry.
Third best Eddie and the second best Kingston. That was such a fire line.
He's not talented in the ring. I'm sorry. Like he looks like a bum. He wrestles like a bum. There's no nice way to say it. I do not know a wrestler that has as much or more fame to him that is worse in the ring than him. He is the worst wrestler at the level that he's at that I have ever seen in any company.
You realize that Great Khali has been a world heavyweight champion, right?
I mean, is he there right now?
No, but I'm saying if we're talking in general,
Giant Gonzalez or whatever. Yeah, I get that. Like I'm not, but like right now with his Great Khali also wasn't popular. Like what people you yourself are like, oh, he's a great character, blah 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 blah, and it's like okay, great, but like He literally has
Right.
the exact
I understand what you're
opposite.
saying.
He has the exact opposite of what Ricochet did in WWE, where he was all movement and zero character. He's like literally the exact opposite, and that doesn't make for good
And
television either.
in a company that emphasizes in-ring competition,
And that's
you know
what
what
makes
I
it
mean?
so glaringly obvious that he's so bad. I hate being harsh like this, but like holy fuck, we're the best wrestle.
If
He's
you
not the best.
if you're in the arena and you see this match and this is your feelings, like I completely understand. There have been matches I've been in the arena where it shit sucked. Jay and Jimmy at Mania 40. That was a great promo, great everything lead up. Then the match happened, and you're like, you just get a sour taste in your mouth. It's as simple as that.
You're gonna shit on me too, but I saw him at Supercard of Honor when he defended his title and lost it, the Ring of Honor title, to Mark Briscoe. Same thing, just snooze fest. Dude was yelling at him, calling him a bum the entire match till Kingston finally gave in and told him to suck it, which was funny. But I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Well, and
He wasn't wrong.
we'll get into Briscoe in just a little bit when we get down the match list. But like, I hate being so critical on this stuff, but at the same time, it's like there's people that will want him to be AEW champion. You should never
He
have a
shouldn't be.
guy with that skill set be your champion in a company that has so many legitimately talented wrestlers. It would be
Not.
embarrassing.
Maybe it was a good thing he
Oh,
was ROH World Champ.
Well, I mean
oh
that the
yeah.
jokes set up themselves there, but like
Listen, could we say that he's like the mankind of AEW? I feel like
No,
mankind got
Mick Foley was a better wrestler.
yeah, I
Mick
was
Foley
he
could work a match. Eddie Kingston, he
better than
can work a
Eddie
match, but it's the same thing every time, and it's never until
against?
you add Plunder and him walking up the ramp with a fucking completely full of blood and a fire and a fucking gas can trying to light Bryan Danielson on fire. I could
mean
care less.
Mankind was a
Like,
sick fuck, but I never saw any of those shitty ass chops that Eddie does. Those are like
No, he just had
embarrassment to any
he just
sort
had
of
a
like.
sock in his pants.
Anyways, I don't need to beat this. The match happened. It should have been on Dynamite, or it should have been on fucking Dark. I know that doesn't exist anymore, but it's brutal. Speaking of the other name that you mentioned in that Ring of Honor match, Mark Briscoe defeated MJF in a tables and tacks match in 19 minutes.
so what did Marta think of this match?
That was gross. As just like a good way to bring that up, she actually quite enjoyed the show as a whole. She found the
Hmm.
crowds to be more engaging. She didn't have
I would agree with
somebody
that.
kicking them in the back of the chair the whole time. But she said it was a bit much at spots, but it wasn't like to the point where she had to leave her seat or anything like that. I guess maybe because we were sitting far enough away.
So going with the crowd being more engaging, that's one thing I've noticed about being at AEW shows is that, even in Milwaukee where the crowd is not full, the Panther Arena doesn't get completely filled up, it gets loud and everybody is hype. I was at Raw 3 weeks ago, and I think I told you guys this. I saw people starting chants that were planted by WWE, and I was like, "This is fucking stupid. Like, why do they need to do this?"
Well, how do you know they were planted by WWE?
They were standing there holding cups and wouldn't do anything until they wanted to start a chant.
Well, they could be
They
just
weren't in seats.
a bunch of dudes
And then
just yelling stuff.
security talked to them, and then they followed security to go somewhere else.
Oh, did you follow them?
No, because they were on the floor and I was in the middle section.
You were creeping them from a distance, eh?
So I saw them and I was like, "Huh, that's weird that they're not in their seats." And then I saw them like look at each other and then start chanting. I was like, "Okay, there's some bullshit here." Like it it wasn't organic. It was
Sounds
like
like Tony
they
Khan
talked to
paid
each other.
you to talk shit about them on this podcast.
I wouldn't talk shit about them if Tony Khan paid me. I'm just being legitimate. It was so fake.
Anyways, back to the match.
Back to the match. So, yeah, disgusting plunder, but that's when Mark Briscoe's best in. And when MJF gets his working boots on for something like that, he can be fucking one of the best plunder wrestlers in the world. I mean, it's hard pressed to say for the male side of professional wrestling that there's a more like complete like Swiss Army knife wrestler than MJF, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, he is so fucking good at everything he does.
Yeah, he can wrestle technical. He can wrestle plunder. He can wrestle long matches. He can wrestle squashes. Like, yeah,
he's one of one, and he's still. I mean, he's my age. Like, he's
that's
got
old.
such a long. How old are you, Donnie?
That's the twilight of your career in any other.
Says the
professional
oldest guy in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to
think
tear an
that's when-
ACL and retire from my job.
As soon as the next year, you're on the downhill in every professional sport, right? You got to think of it that way.
It's when
Yeah.
Gronkowski, I think, was trying to call it quits around that age too.
Yeah.
No, he got traded to the Lions and then retired because he didn't want to go to the Lions.
Brandon, what do you think of the match?
I mean, I think Mark Briscoe definitely needed this match. I think this was a pivotal match for him. A win over MJF, even with a guy like Mark Briscoe, who's been around the game forever, is fucking huge. And Mark Briscoe's already shown plenty of times that he can go in this environment, but he took everything MJF could shoot at him, and he gave it right back. And now people are talking about, like, well, is Mark Briscoe going to jump into the AEW world title picture now? Like, I wouldn't be
put into that picture with a win over MJF. I know it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but he put himself in the upper mid card very easily with this win.
This is like his first relevant pay-per-view match, I think, in his AEW. Like, what other pay-per-view matches has Mark Briscoe won? Because it's not many.
No.
But what, Jericho? Did he beat him one time? I don't know.
It's the quality of the win versus the quantity.
I want to see if I can find it. I mean. I'm gonna look really quickly. See if I can find what.
But I mean,
any others.
In any case, like, it's huge for Mark. It's a hallmark win for Mark Briscoe for sure.
Yeah, and like, is that what? Like, thinking about MJF in that scenario, like, what does that do for him, right? Like, he still is the number one contender with that contract.
Oh yeah, he still got that thing.
And he loses here, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. I'm trying to. You guys can maybe fill in some of the silence here while I look at Mark Briscoe's list of matches.
If we look at the Money in the Bank contract, a lot of the time before those people cash in, they lose a lot of matches.
I was just about to say.
MJF doesn't really lose anything in this because it was such a fucking crazy plunder match. I mean, he got spiked on his head on a bunch of tacks, which I don't know if you guys saw the referee's picture of his shoes, but they were just covered in tacks. Like, it was crazy. Like, MJF doesn't really lose anything in this match, but it gives Mark Briscoe a statement win that puts him in the upper mid card. Is he going to win the world championship? No, I don't see that happening ever, unless he gets some sort of like Bryan Danielson-esque underdog push to the top, because that'd be the only real way to get him there. But he's a made man in AEW. He was a made man in ROH, of course, but like now he's firmly in AEW and is firmly in the upper mid card.
So,
yeah, good for Mark too.
Here I am. I found some of his stuff here. So he won the tables and tax matches. He lost the Casino Gauntlet at All In Texas. He lost the stretcher match to Ricochet. He lost a quarterfinal match to Kyle Fletcher at Dynasty. He won a pre-show match with Big Boom AJ and Orange Cassidy over Johnny TV and Mansoor and Mason Madden. Don't count that. He did his last like legitimate singles win on a PLE was defending the ROH World Title against Chris Jericho at Wrestle Dream. And then after that, he lost in a fatal four-way to Okada. He lost in a Casino Gauntlet. He lost in the TNT title ladder match. He lost in a three-way against House of Black. He lost in another group match. Like, yeah, lots of losses.
Yeah, but
so like that should be the number one contender. Like that's my point here, right? Like
a win over MJF does hold weight because it does not happen that often.
Sure,
that's my point.
I just don't think he should immediately get a title match as a result of that one win, in my opinion.
No, I don't disagree.
This is another match that didn't have any business being on this show. The Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona defeated the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP in basically 14 minutes.
That seems kind of long. I mistakenly called them the Gorillas. I was thinking the Gorillas' Destiny, they're the Gates of Agony, so I apologize on that. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good win. I think it's going to be the Hurt Syndicate, like, realizing that MVP can't go anymore for the most part, and they're going to need some young blood. They're not getting Cedric Alexander. They're not getting a full business reunion. But I don't know who they add. That's really the end of this match where we kind of got to figure out, okay, who's the Hurt Syndicate gonna add to take on the young guys, because they are an old faction. They're like median age is like 47.
Yep. I mean, they could kick MVP out because he lost. I was kind of expecting that to happen after that match, but it didn't.
Yeah, if anyone, I was definitely expecting him to take the pin. I was expecting the Syndicate to win. I'm glad for Ricochet, and I guess they have a name, right?
Demand. Demand.
A Demand? Oh, Lord.
It's a very weird name. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an explanation somewhere, but like, I'm glad at least for Gates of Agony that they got a W under their belt against a very game tag team in the Hurt Syndicate.
And a very good tag team at that.
Absolutely. Well, and two, I mean, if we're talking about like who could potentially jumpstart the Hurt Syndicate in its current iteration, the thing with like, and we've talked about the Don Callis family, right? Like, I mean, Wardlow's on the shelf. Otherwise, I would have said Wardlow, but you can pluck like almost any other dude out of there, or even like hell, even like the Ops, like Hobbs or something like that. Jumping in that group, I feel like would be good. Otherwise, you have guys like fuck. I'd have to actually think about this now. I have to really think about
Hobbs would make sense. I would
Josh
think.
Alexander?
I don't think Alexander's moving, but Hobbs would make sense. But I also don't want to see him be a heel, just because like he is genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, he's such a nice guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's a nice dude. But I mean, nice dudes make good heels too.
Yeah, I get that, but just it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to separate the character from the person, and Hobbs is genuinely just a very nice person.
Your guy BJ Ray apparently is super nice.
He is.
You don't want to see him be a face. He'd be a terrible face compared to a heel.
Yeah. I mean, BJ's a good dude. Shout out to BJ as always.
See, there we go. Mercedes Moné successfully defended her TBS championship by defeating Riho in 16 minutes.
I heard this wasn't a very well liked match. Is that the consensus? Was it just fine?
It was a match that happened. Like, here's the thing, and this is the way I'm gonna talk about this. The shows are very long, right? So this was already the 9th match, knowing that you had with 1, 2, 3, 4 championship matches still left to go, and a very big plunder match with Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. How do you get excited for this match, knowing that there's still so much more to come?
Right,
and
that makes sense.
I don't think that either of these two have currently, I would say, the fandom to warrant a big response, unless it's like a technical masterclass in the women's division.
Which it could have been, it just wasn't.
They're both very good. I don't think this match landed. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit when we get to the main event, but like Mercedes has name to her, but I don't think she has drawing power when it comes to AEW as a company, right? You watch AEW not for Mercedes Moné, and I don't mean that as an insult to her. Like, she's probably one of the, if not the most talented women on that roster. I've been very critical of her, but she's very talented. But people don't go to AEW to watch Mercedes Moné. And when then you put her up against Riho, who's also very talented, but certainly not a big marquee personality for a mid card title. It's just a bad mix, right? And you put it smack dab in the middle of the card like you do there. It's hard to get people invested.
It gives it a definite.
That is the bathroom break match, just on paper, for those reasons that I mentioned. So the match itself was fine.
What can you do?
The match itself was fine. Like I said, they're both really talented. Mercedes did do the Monet Maker, right?
Did it look good?
It looked better. It looked. Can't wait for that mount to come in for your phone, eh?
It's coming.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dismount that.
No, it's all good. Like I totally lost where I was going with that. Now I got distracted by the phone thing.
It was a fine match. It was just a fine match and an unfortunate placement for two people so talented. Simple as that.
Yeah. Brandon, anything to add? Pierce, anything to add? Like, I don't know if you guys even watched this one back, but
I mean, it was about kind of what I expected, and that's about as much as I can say about it. I mean, no way Riho was going to win. I think anyone with half a brain would have figured that.
correct.
So yeah, I mean, not much to say about besides what's already been said. Not for me, anyway.
Pierce, you're good there?
Yeah.
All right.
What was next?
Kazuchika Okada defended his unified championship by defeating Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada in 21 minutes.
We did not expect Dorada to be in this match, but man, did he show the fuck out.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
So for the matches that I stayed for, and I will mention when I left this show, because we did not stay for the entire show, Mascara Dorada had the performance of the night for me. He was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He's been understated for a long time.
Takeshita was very good. Okada was okay, but Dorada stole that match. It was his showing out party. He was very, very good. Obviously, he was the one to be pinned because it logically made sense for him to be the one to get pinned, but like he was the reason why that match was arguably one of the, if not the matches of the night overall. I know one match at the end of the card will probably be match of the night, but it was very good. It was a very good match.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be. It was a very easy contender for match of the night, even if it was Mortos. Like, if it was Mortos, I think it would have been more of a Haas fest, which would have been a little different. But having somebody like Dorada, who is just so different to Takeshita and Okada, definitely added to this match in a way that it needed. And they're teasing it when Takeshita becomes a face and they do Okada versus Takeshita. It's going to be a fucking barn burner. So I don't know when they're going to do it, but we'll get there when we get there, and I'm excited for it.
Brandon?
But yeah, you got to have Takeshita Okada being teased in some capacity when you consider, modern day like G1 kingpin in Kazuchika Okada versus the current G1 champion in Takeshita. Takeshita is also a 5-star general of this year. I can't think of, besides like even Ospreay. I feel like Takeshita gives Ospreay a run for his money as far as 5-star matches that have been accrued over the course of this year. Like he just puts out just stellar performance one after another. So fucking good. And like you said with Dorada, he's been an understated, like all around great competitor for a very long time. Like when he came in, like I think of it like when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic as Grand Metalik, and we saw like a glimmer of what he was, and people were talking about him. Same with Sin Cara, like one of the greatest in the world. And you never really got to see that in that iteration of like the WWE. Probably wouldn't have been fit for the WWE much in general. I feel like luchadors, while they are good in WWE, they're not like ever at full potential, or they're not ever at full showcase capacity. But you get them in like a company like AEW against guys like Takeshita, like Mascara Dorada, like for as much time as has passed, and for as little like main event level or like main show exposure, I guess you could say, that he's received, like he took it all the fucking way in that match. I was so fucking impressed with him. And right, it makes sense that he was the one to eat the pin, but like again, he put everybody on notice in that match. So I would love to see a lot more of him going forward, for sure.
Will Ospreay has had 7 5-star or better matches this year. Takeshita has had 4. Just look that up really quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I'm kind of like,
So Ospreay
come on
had
now.
Forbidden Door, All In Texas, Dynamite Summer Blockbuster against Swerve, Double or Nothing, Spring Breakthrough against Takeshita, so Takeshita gets one there. Revolution against Kyle Fletcher, and the tag match with Kenny Omega as his. And then Takeshita had that same tag match at Grand Slam Australia, the match against Kenny, the match against at Revolution, the match against Ospreay at Spring Breakthrough, and then his Super Card of Honor match against Bandito.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I could
sorry,
have sworn that gap was a
five,
lot more narrow.
and his match against Omega at. Oh no, sorry, I misread that. Yeah, just 4. Bandito was the 4th one. I misread there.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, so
That's so wild.
it made me want to look it up and see, and that's what I found. So I figured I'd share.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Warranted and appreciated.
You know, we know Dave Meltzer loves his Will Ospreay. So
I was going to say, yeah, there's a little bit of bias in that assessment, but all the same.
In 20 minutes, John Moxley defeated Darby Allin in a coffin match.
So we didn't think about a Pac return. That's on us.
Love to see it.
Yeah, love to see it. Pac's fucking incredible. He fits the Death Riders so well. He did when it started. I mean, he's just
And he was wearing
he's a
pants.
bastard.
He was wearing pants.
Yeah, he had a shirt on.
It's weird. Clothed and shorn, hair gone. Could see his ears.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna continue the story. That's fine. Especially with what happened after the match in the back, where Darby lit John Moxley on fire.
Yeah, the ending of this match in the ring didn't kind of go all that well with the crowd. It felt very anticlimactic for a coffin match.
Makes sense.
The post-match stuff, which we barely got to hear any audio for, AEW's production value in-house never seems to improve for what it's worth. But
No, it does not.
That was a little weird. I mean, they could have just done that ringside. Don't know why they had to do that in the back, but whatever. I guess. You know?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's fine if this goes on. Darby should win this feud, and then the Death Riders should. I don't know what the Death Riders do after that. They either end or they kick Moxley out and Moxley turns face. There's a lot of ways they could go about it, which is fine. I know we're all kind of sick of the Death Riders, but at least with Darby, they can have some fun plunder matches, and Darby is, as we say, a crackhead.
Yeah, he took a lot of nasty ass bumps. He also threw a bag over Moxley's head. I think they would replicate that spot, but
That's what
they went ahead
Bryan
with
Danielson wanted.
That's what Bryan Danielson gave
there
him.
it goes. Yeah, there it goes. I don't know. I mean, the ending was kind of like, the way I saw it, it was like Darby took Mox to his limit, and Mox ultimately needed Pac's help to go over in that match. So while Mox did get the win, like, they're still going to build for Darby to ultimately, like, almost effectively kill John Moxley. And once that happens, I mean, you get new guys in the group like Red Death, right? Like Daniel Garcia, who, by the way, I could see kind of succeeding the throne, as it were, with John Moxley. I feel like Death Riders will continue. There'll just be a different iteration, kind of like with Judgment Day or like Bullet Club. I feel like there's enough room for that to become like a dynastic kind of a group. I don't see Moxley leaving.
That faction would be with Claudio, fucking Wheeler Yuta, and fucking Daniel Garcia. What a charisma vacuum.
And Marina Shafir.
Oh, God.
Lest we forget.
We don't know
the
her.
cherry on top of that
we
shit
don't
Sunday.
Know her. I will never not say that when she gets brought up. We don't know her.
Fair.
4-way match, AEW Women's World Championship. This match was only 12 minutes. A little surprising. Not that I'm complaining, given the length of these cards. Chris Statlander is your new Women's World Champion. She defeated Timeless Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Thekla. She actually pinned Toni Storm in this match.
Nice.
That daddy. Well-deserved win. Toni understandably looks shocked. She was unbeatable this year, and she got caught in the seatbelt. And sometimes that's as simple as it needs to be. People can get caught, and good for Statlander. That's all I really have to say about this match. What do you think, Brandon?
Well, I mean, that's kind of one of the things we were talking about with Toni Storm's matches too, right? Like, I think that was one of my biggest attractions. I believe it was with her match against Mariah May, where she ultimately like hit her with 3 Storm Zeros or some shit like that, and then won the match with a roll up. And we were talking about like, oh, well, like that's just how it works. Sometimes I think it was against Mariah May. It was.
Well, in the lead up to that match, she was like perfecting the small package, so it made sense for her to win with a small package. Yes, Donnie, sure. I know.
Wank.
But
perfecting the small package. Give me a fucking break.
That's what the whole fucking build was. She won every match leading up to that.
I mean, in that case, I guess I'll say within context, then it does kind of serve as a poetic full circle moment when you have someone like Chris Statlander beating Toni Storm with something that you can put in the same family as a small package.
Yes.
A bit more complex, a few more layers, but all the same. Be interesting to see what's next for Toni Storm. She's going a weird direction with her aesthetic. Very mimey.
It's very over the top, I think. It's like,
even for her,
it feels like I don't want to say it's jump the shark. I've never been a huge fan of her gimmick, but I appreciated some of the elements for it. It almost feels like it's almost jumped the shark now at this point, where it's just too over the top. I don't know. My opinion.
It's going to be a new evolution, and maybe she goes into color television and movies. Toni Storm.
I mean, with the way her makeup looks like, it looks like she got cream pie in the face, a la Charlotte Flair in WWE.
That's accurate.
Yeah, you ever see that episode of The Simpsons where Homer invented the makeup gun?
Yeah.
And then he set it to whore?
Yeah.
What is that?
On the wall.
Yeah. That was her face, dude.
That's
all right, what was
funny.
next?
That's actually funny. We don't rush that. We gotta laugh at that one. Oh, man.
I'm just trying to get us through.
I know.
We got a lot
that was a good one. I laughed at that one legitimately. So I actually left the show at this point because these shows are too goddamn long. This would have been here at the arena for 6 hours at this point.
Let's be happy that they want to continue doing the midday shows, though, because if they're doing it this long, you can at least, enjoy the rest of your night and not have to.
Well, we know why they did the midday show, though. We know why they did the midday show.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Brodito are still tag team champions. They defeated the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Hechicero and Josh Alexander in 25 minutes.
That's too long for a ladder match.
It sure is. At this point in the card, it's too long.
That being said, this is more for what happened during the match, which was the return of Jack Perry.
Yep.
Listen, I've said my piece on him, but the Jungle Boy character was always fun. And having them go back to it with Luchasaurus and having those two come back together after being apart for, 3 years now? I think that's a good way to help rebuild his character. And Luchasaurus is loved because he dealt with some terrible health problems this year in his back. And so, bringing back Tarzan Boy, bringing these two back together and, maybe having them help rejuvenate the tag division. Like, it seems like tag division's finally getting back on the upswing again. And having these two together, which is like a legacy tag team in AEW, is a good idea. And it's going to help build Jack up and bring him back to where he was probably at the beginning of his heel turn before Real Glass happened. And It's gonna help him. It's gonna help Luchasaurus, and then having these two feud with the Young Bucks, it's probably going to be a fun feud. So I'm excited to see where they go from there. Brodito can go literally anywhere. They can wrestle anybody. Those two are great together. So that's my thoughts. What do you think, Brandon?
I don't know. The match was what it was. I mean, Brodito took it. Fine, I suppose they get to hold on. Pertaining to the whole like Jurassic Express thing coming back, it felt kind of ham-fisted to me. Like Jack Perry was one of the biggest douchebag heels. Like, I mean, he had a lot of go-away heat on top, but like the shit he was doing and saying would pretty much draw ire from any crowd, I would feel like. And then you had Luchasaurus, who was Kill Switch. Um, I think he was effectively heel up until he went away, and then he comes back, and now all of a sudden, like these two both come back in the same, and like they're just supposed to forget, and we're just all supposed to collectively forget that anything happened with both of them individually, and we're supposed to just pick up where we left off with them as a collective after everything.
He
I don't
dug him
know.
up from
I
the
get what they're trying to
grave.
do.
He dug him up from the grave.
He dug Luchasaurus up from the grave,
Did he not? Wasn't that whole
like
video?
Jurassic Park.
Isn't that
Yeah,
whole
I saw him with
video?
a mask on, like a respirator
It's-
mask on.
That's
Which
kind of
alludes
what
to that.
happened. Again, it can be ham-fisted. It can be this and that. But if they want to get Jack Perry liked again, this is a good way to do it.
It's probably
And it's
the
going to
only
help.
way to do it, honestly.
And I mean, Jack Perry is the reason that CM Punk is not with the company. I mean, CM Punk's a good chunk of that too, but the main start.
Takes two.
It takes two, but one person said real glass when he did not need to.
Yeah, and then one
So-
person overreacted to that. So
Yes, I would agree, but
Which is
one
in line
person
with his
started it,
character.
one person ended it. Is my point. And I get what you're saying, Brandon, but this is a good thing, and nobody's going to boo Luchasaurus. Maybe they booed Jack, but this will help at least give Jack a good story because the Young Bucks did technically leave him after they disappeared. So we'll see what happens.
I guess I find it hard to believe that they'll just pick up exactly where they left off, like 2-3 years ago. Like nothing, like the whole shit's gonna get retconned.
you'll
I
have
don't
to tune into Dynamite to make sure that that's the case.
I guess create some intrigue.
I will say that Marta was the most disappointed in the whole night when I showed her the clip of Jurassic Express getting back together, and she was not there to see it live. She was very disappointed that we missed that part of it. She wasn't disappointed with missing a 25-minute ladder match or a 40-minute main event, but she was disappointed about missing that. So
They could have cut the match in half, and it would have done the same thing.
Speaking of another match, they
Right.
probably could have cut some time off. Main event: Hangman Adam Page defeated Kyle Fletcher and retained the AEW World Championship match in 38 minutes.
Yeah, that did not need to be 40 minutes. Probably could have went 20
shit.
and then fine. That being said, what a fucking match they had, though. They beat the fuck out of each other, and they tore it up. I mean, say what you will about the length of these pay-per-views, but
It was
these
over
main
5
event
hours.
matches they had.
It was over 5
These
hours.
main event matches that they have lately have brought the fans back to life. This one is no exception. So, good, right person won. Where they go from here for Hangman, I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume they probably go the full gear route against Kenny when he's back. That makes sense to me. They could bring in MJF. I don't think they do it yet, but yeah, wherever they go for either of these characters, it's a smart idea. And good on Hangman. Right person won. Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that Kyle Fletcher has definitely been very highly impactful, like not just in like his meteoric rise in AEW and all the attention that he's getting based off, like, but particularly on his in-ring work. Like he goes hard in his fucking matches. He takes bumps. He hits like a motherfucker. And the thing about it is, I would say that Hangman and Fletcher would have been a valid 40-minute match if AEW pay-per-views were a lot shorter. Now, if this was on like an episode of, say, like Dynamite, and they had like a match prior to this one, then I'd say this is probably better suited for that time window. But like when you have all that match, and especially the one that preceded it, a fucking 20-minute ladder match that ultimately like was a
25.
whatever.
25.
Right. Yes, to Donnie's point. And it's, you have another match after all of that show that's 40 minutes long. Even with guys the caliber of Fletcher and Hangman, like that's a drag, dude. And they probably should figure that formula out sooner than later because I feel like, unfortunately, it detracts from what otherwise is a fucking, could potentially be like a top 5 match of the year candidate. I don't know. It's, in any case, like they're saying it with their chest that Kyle Fletcher is going to be a top player in AEW for a very long time. He's very young, and like it's uncanny like how good he is coming out of Aussie Open and putting on the crazy matches he's been having with guys like Okada, with guys like Hiromu, Takeshita, now Hangman, probably Kenny Omega in the future, Will Ospreay. Like he's gonna go very, very far. Um, and good on him for having such a stellar fucking match with Hangman. It will be interesting to see what happens with Hangman after this, though,
I mean,
because
I'm glad I didn't stick around to watch this with intro is probably 45-minute match. Like, I'm sorry. Uh, the card's going, counting pre-show, 6.5 hours
yeah,
is absurd. And I talked
Absolutely.
about it. I talk about it almost every single time we review these shows. And now, actually, because like this is technically my second AEW pay-per-view, but the first one was Forbidden Door, and Forbidden Door wasn't as long back in 2023.
The past year they've been beefing these up for no reason.
Yeah, you realistically look at this card, and there's at least two, if not three, matches on the main card that don't need to be on here, and you don't need four pre-match matches either,
no,
right? Like it's just too
Nope.
doesn't
much,
make
and
sense.
it's exhausting. It's hard to get invested. Matches that actually probably do have some amount of stakes in them just get lost in the shuffle, like I talked about with Mercedes and Riho, because like how can I get excited for it knowing that there's still 2 fucking hours worth of matches to go? And I've already been here for
Right.
4 hours. You know what I mean? Like, gotta pick your battles on
Hmm.
these marathons that they are. So,
Right.
I will go back to watch this match at some point. I did not watch it live. I don't feel bad about missing it, quite frankly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Overall review of the show.
Um, from what I saw, 7 out of 10. Seemed like it was a good pay per view. Wasn't a great pay per view. 7 out of 10 is like baseline for AEW pay per views for me. Like it's you don't expect them to be mid to bad. Forbidden Door last month withstanding, but usually they usually hit, and this is exactly what it needed. It did what it needs to do. Shave off an hour or two though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd go 7.5. I mean, for the fact that there were a lot of really good matches, some which had meaning, like Mark Briscoe beating MJF, right? It was more like neutral, like nothing burger type matches that, like you were saying, Don, filled the air, filled a lot of time, and probably detracted from the show ultimately when you pile them all up. But there were some great matches on that card, so
I
that's
think
kind of
it's
where I'll leave it.
interesting that the most impactful match from a booking perspective was the shortest match during the main show, and that was the women's four-way match, which is
Yeah.
And it sucks that these women's matches don't get enough time.
right. Like that match was only 11 minutes, and technically speaking, was the main champion losing her title. So the pacing of these shows is very, very confusing to me a lot of the time. I want to give it a 6 because I did not watch the main event match, which would probably, if I watch it back, I'd give it a 6.5, just to boost it from the quality of what it seems to be in the case of this match. But overall, I said this again during Forbidden Door. I'll see it here. From what I saw, there was no like pay-per-view defining match. Scar Dorada had a good performance. The intro tag match, like the kickoff tag match with Cope and Christian, was good, but like none of these are like your big banger 5-star matches. Is the reason to come to AEW to watch AEW. None of these were impactful for storyline elements outside of little bits here or there. So if you're not doing either of those things and you're not putting on engaging weekly television, I can't give it a high rating, so I want to give it a 6.
Makes sense.
Uh,
Is it time to Palooza?
Speaking of scrutinized pay-per-views and PLEs, Wrestlepalooza was started during the ladder match, for context. That would be about the 4-hour mark of the PLE, or the pay-per-view itself. But Wrestlepalooza came from the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. There were 5 matches on this card. And it started off with Brock Lesnar defeating John Cena in 9 minutes.
Okay, so this is maybe the most divisive match that we're going to talk about all night, all podcast, maybe all year. And yeah, this was the right decision.
Yeah.
Why would Brock lose immediately? This is not 2012. This is not prime Cena. I know I've been saying Cena's been on a second prime, but like Brock being gone for 2 years, walking out and looking like that, he was going to eat Cena for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Speaking of looking like that, holy shit, did he get big?
Most
I don't think
terrifying 48-year-old
Brock Lesnar that big in my entire life. He's the biggest he's ever been.
Yeah, that's incredibly frightening. And then you watch him run the ropes, and you realize he's still just as fucking agile as he's ever been, too.
Yeah,
and it was Brock doing like wrestling moves. He pulled out power slams in this match, which I thought was interesting.
That surprised me. Yeah,
I was like, when does Brock do power slams? He did more F5s than suplexes, which is just a funny stat. But
I think that's mostly just because he doesn't want to risk actually injuring John. To be honest, like those suplexes are more dangerous than an F5. I would say from a performance perspective.
But yeah, this is exactly what it needed to be. And now Cena's going into a match with Styles. Like, it's not exactly what we, said would happen, but it's it's fine.
The people what they want.
Yep.
People wanted John to win.
I don't know
wasn't
why
gonna happen.
People are shocked that Lesnar won this match. Like, it doesn't. Brandon, you can maybe chime in. Maybe you're shocked that Brock Lesnar won this match, but like to me,
not at all.
To your point, returning debut, Brock Lesnar is massive as he is. John Cena's in the twilight of his career. I mean, Brock probably should also be in the twilight of his career, but when you look like that, I'm not going to be the one to tell him that.
When you are a one-of-one fucking alpha male specimen,
yeah, like
you say when the twilight of your career is.
Why did people think this was going to be a 20-minute close match? Because these matches have never been that way between these two. They've always been finisher spammed, bullshit finishes here and there, right? But like Brock just usually just beating the holy hell out of John Cena. Why would this be any different? I don't get it.
It's okay for Cena to have a fucking mountain that he can't climb in his career. That's fine. He's beaten Brock exactly one time, and it was in a fucking no DQ match because he had a chain.
Yep.
Simple as that.
That's how it needed to be. That's how it needed to be.
And Brock looked great. People are like, "Oh, he's lost a step." No, he hasn't. He fucking still has the best kick out in the game. People bid on that fucking third AA. Like they bid on it hard, and then he kicked out just barely. And nobody's better at that kick out than Brock. Except maybe Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle's been retired for like 6 years now. But
I actually would have marked if Brock would have beaten Cena the same way he beat Hogan on SmackDown years ago, because it looked like it was going that direction for a bit, where he was just bear hugging the shit out of him. And if he made Cena pass out, and that was the way that Brock got him, I would have marked for that, because that's not something you see out of Cena ever either. At least I haven't seen it in a while.
But he made Cody lose that way, right? It wasn't a bear hug, but he did make.
Yeah, he passed out due to an arm lock. That was a bit odd.
He had an injured arm already.
You don't pass out from an arm lock.
It's the pain.
Oh, that pain.
He didn't want to tap.
Austin passed out from a sharpshooter.
Yeah, see?
Right.
Yeah, but he was bleeding like a sieve, and was having pressure on his legs and back, being leaned back, of course he would pass out. If you have pressure on your arm, yeah, whatever.
It was
If
a
he would have
broken
broke his
arm.
arm and
He
then
had a broken arm.
You got a lot of blood vessels in that shit. A lot of blockage.
whatever. That's not the match we're talking about. We're talking about this match. This is the right decision. Whatever Brock does after this, I would assume maybe he gets another Cody match eventually. But we'll see what happens. Brock can do whatever the fuck he wants. Cena can do whatever the fuck he wants. And it's clear he's
Damn
doing
right.
that by saying he wants an AJ Styles match.
Which he's getting at
So-
Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
The Vision, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker defeated Jimmy and Jey Uso with LA Knight being the special guest referee. Didn't know that was a thing when I started watching it. In 17
weird.
minutes.
So the LA Knight thing was added that day. And it at least makes sense. You know, he was pretty deep into this story for them. It was a good match. Finish kind of got quick because Jay got busted open.
Yep. Sure did.
In a fucking what could have been a gnarly spot. He hit the chair on Braun's big old back and it rebounded, hit him in the face, and it could have been bad. Luckily they caught it and were able to go straight to the finish. Yeah, but right people won. Seems like Jay's getting a little more edge to him, as we saw on Raw when the Vision interfered in his match and he just didn't care and took the win. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm also excited to see where it goes, as long as it doesn't lead to another Jimmy J match. But I mean, I think it's good
Bad
to.
news for you. Could end up that
Oh,
way.
fuck! Here we go. Oh, I mean, I'm
Well,
just
Jimmy
glad.
J match will be better than any ROH pay per view.
Hey.
Oh yeah, had to sneak that in there. Just
Hey.
yeah, we were talking about ROH too much earlier. Had to cloak your dagger. No, I think it was good that the Bronze got this win. I don't know what they're going to continue to do with them as like a team. I'm surprised they haven't actually like gotten any like talk about being in the tag title picture. Because Seth and Becky are champions. Like, why wouldn't you want to round that picture out? They're kind of like the new evolution in a sense, right? So I don't know.
Kind of.
I mean, it's easy pickings. Like it's the Judgment Day. They're in turmoil right now, right? So like you pick on the bones there, and you got new world tag champions. But yeah, I guess maybe that bridge will be crossed when we come to it. But yeah, pretty decent match. Not match of the night, but it's pretty decent. Right team won.
So I'm looking, just as we were talking, I was looking at the AEW Dynamite card for tonight. For some reason, Hangman Adam Page is having an AEW World Championship Open Challenge against Lee Moriarty.
What the fuck?
And it also, above
Oh
Lee
my
Moriarty's
God.
name, it says AEW World Champion. Talk about production value. You see shit like this, and like this is stupid.
They.
Anyways,
God damn it.
those open challenges for the main title on weekly television is stupid as hell. Don't do that. Yeah, so we still don't know inevitably what's going to happen with Jay, what's going to happen with Jimmy, what's going to happen with LA Knight. We kind of know what's happening with Bronson and Braun. Could they challenge for the tag titles? Probably, but how does the Judgment Day really beat them? And clearly they don't care about the Raw Tag Team titles all that much because they've only been defended once since Judgment Day won them again. Just as the same problem as the last time they won those titles. But the Jimmy J and LA match, potentially include Roman in there, has more intrigue, I think. So we'll see what happens there.
We shall.
Match of the night for sure here was next, for at least on the WWE side. In a singles match for the vacant Women's World Championship, Stephanie Vaquer is your new Women's World Champion. She defeated Io Sky in 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is fucking just an incredible match. These two were great together. I like that Io's knee was the story of the match. She sold it incredibly well. Stephanie is a deserving champion. They just strapped the rocket to her, and rightfully so. There's not many more women more popular than her right now, besides maybe Rhea Ripley or Io. And them seeing like, hey, we can make a new star, and she's been on the main roster for what, 3 months? She's only been in WWE for a little over a year. Like,
I don't
She's
even
been
think
on
a
the
and in
main
full
that
year.
roster
time,
for more than 3 months.
it was June, right?
She had a match after WrestleMania.
But I think that was just a one-off, and then she
I think she
got
was still
like fully
NXT.
called up
Was she?
in June to be in the Money in the
Yeah.
Bank. And then, so 3-4 months she's been on the roster. She's been in WWE for a little over a year. In that time, North American champ, NXT champ, double champ, world champ. That's incredible. And it sucks well, it doesn't suck. Congratulations, Naomi, but it sucks that her run got cut off because she was going to have a great run as world champ. But I think this is the right winner. La Primera is going to be world champ probably for a while. She may hold the title into WrestleMania. I don't know if she does, but whatever they do, I'm excited. Brandon,
Yeah,
what'd you
I
think?
mean, Stephanie Vaquer, and I've been critical of a few aspects of her character. Like, I mean, she's interesting, we'll say. Like, obviously, she's undoubtedly very, very good in ring. She kept up with Io Sky. I get she likes her music. I get she's got her whole presentation that she's loyal to,
Simple
and she makes it work
presentation
for
does
her.
not need to be more. It's a perfect presentation. Her music is
She's not the
good.
most, yeah,
Sometimes simplicity is all it needs to be, because they could add extra stuff to it, change your music, do this, do that, but it's a simple presentation that she likes and everybody likes besides seemingly you.
well, I don't get it. It's just, I mean, like I said, it's interesting. She's not like all that expressive as far as her character goes, which, I mean, when you have someone coming out wearing horns on their head and all the other stuff and face paint, like it's there, but like it's not as like fleshed out. They don't have to talk to me like I'm 5 to kind of give me a narrative on it, but like she just kind of one day just showed up in WWE, came out with the shit on, and then like she's very good in the ring. Booker loves her,
Oh
I think
yeah.
Wade Barrett might have confessed to being a perv, having something of a kink, but when she was doing that in the match, but like, oh, I'd love to give the devil a smooch. It's like,
What is
okay,
it? I'm
wait.
trying to think. I
But
guess his finish would now be the Goon Hammer. Trying to think how
oh
he can
yeah,
make it a Gooner thing
Lord,
for her.
I don't ever want to see the goon hammer in any context.
He's got
But
some Goon news or something.
oh yeah, ugh, no thanks. I don't know. She's very, very good in the ring, and it's she got the ship tied to her, and she beat, we've said, like the best women's wrestler in the world to get what she has now in a very short time that she's been in the company, and people are saying she's only getting started. I don't know, like the match with Rhea Ripley is going to happen at some point. She's probably going to face Bianca and Jade and Tiffany. Tiffany
She'll be
maybe sooner than later, depending on
she'll
how
be
things go.
facing
But
one of Tiffany, or Nia Jax or Jade
Or Jade.
Cargill at Crown Jewel.
mhm. So yeah, she's being put in the limelight now, and we'll see how she does. Like I said before, I don't know. I can't really distinguish the Raw version of Stephanie Vaquer from the NXT version, and I feel like that's something you almost kind of have to do,
I
especially
don't
when they
know
get
that.
to
I
world
don't think
title
that's
level on the
true.
main
I don't think
roster.
that's
Not
true
really.
though.
Well, when they get to the world title, I feel like there has to be some
Why?
distinct marker of
Why?
evolution.
Why?
Maybe
Why?
that's just me. Sorry, I should have prefaced it. Maybe that's just my take on it. Like, there should be, if you're going to be from NXT, which is developmental effectively, categorically still, to the main roster, to the world title picture on the main roster, on the main show, the flagship, I feel like there should be some sort of a marker of like distinction between the two stages. Like caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. That's just my take. Maybe it's, hokey, but I feel like
Why fix what isn't
that's just
broken? Was there something wrong with her character in NXT? I don't think there was.
uh, well, I mean, nothing that I hadn't already kind of spoken to. Like, it's not great. It's fine, but it's not
She's,
like, I don't know.
her presentation is fine. It's exactly what it needs to be. Her character is I'm the best in the world.
She wrestles
otherwise.
like one of the best in the world, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Very,
undoubtedly. Yeah, I
right.
have no detraction from her in-ring game at all. None. It's just a weird admixture of things, like the Dark Angel aspect and the horns
You're
and
really
like.
mad about that song, aren't you?
Well, I didn't bring up the song yet, but now that you mention it,
You're really mad about that
it's her.
theme.
I'm
But
not that mad.
Donnie, no,
I'm not that.
nothing on Brandon, but we know he has weird takes on themes.
Oh, it's not that bad.
She
Not
likes
that
the
bad at all.
horns, let her wear the goddamn horns. She likes the music, let her wear the goddamn music. To your point, we don't need color by numbers to justify every single thing about every single character.
Mm.
And if it worked on NXT,
Yeet.
which it very clearly did, based on how quickly they moved her to the main roster, how quickly they got her wrestling main roster talent, and how quickly they gave her the world title, why fix what isn't broken? So
Well, I mean, she also dropped like what 3 belts to
Vince
come to NXT
McMahon would
too.
do
So
that. Like what you're describing is something that a Vince McMahon era would be like, we got to do something different here because NXT is for jobbers. Let's put them in
it
a
doesn't have to be that
BDSM.
radical.
This isn't good shit. We need to make it good shit.
Let's give
Let's
them a nice
give her good
mask and a
music.
BDSM vest like we did to Karrion Cross, right? Like, is
I
that
wouldn't
what
say
you
it has to
want?
be that
No.
radical.
Is that the kind of variety that you want with a character coming from NXT?
No,
Well,
Stephanie
No.
Bearcat, Vicaire.
yeah, Bearcat.
a care cat.
There you go, Vicarecat.
She's-
See, you already
no.
figured out the perfect name for you. Oh, give me a fucking break.
That's not. Oh, come on, now. It's not like that.
That's what
she's,
he's. I think
she's
that's what you're
great.
prescribed to. Is that you see the variance of characters. You saw Shinsuke Nakamura kick AJ Styles in the balls. Is that what you wanted?
No,
Do you
know
want
that's not what I
AJ's
wanted. I've been
shitty
very
music
vocal about
from when he
that.
turned heel back?
Yeah,
Because
I
you were
feel
like
like
the
we're
only
drawing
person
false
that liked
equivalences
that.
here.
but like these are the
I
cases.
feel like we're drawing some false equivalence.
But what you're trying to explain to say there needs to be some sort of like what did you say, caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly? Like
Just some form of change, just some
that's
difference
what
and
you got out of
distinction
all
from.
these like prime
She
characters. What about Bianca Belair, right? What about Rhea Ripley? Look how different she is. Like in some cases it works, some cases it doesn't, right? Like doesn't mean everybody
carrying
has to
cross
do
to
it.
BDSM cross.
Yeah, Shinsuke to kicking people in the nuts. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
anyways,
I mean, right? It's not all
Sometimes people
good.
are already a butterfly, man.
yeah. Sometimes people are butterflies. Stephanie Vaquer was a butterfly already. That's a great analogy there, Pierce.
Thank you.
All right, moving on
Tip of the
All
cap.
right.
to the longest match of the evening on this show. Definitely not overall because lol AEW. In 29 minutes, CM Punk and AJ Lee defeated Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed tag team match.
Sometimes stupid, dumb, fun matches work. This was that. This was dumb. It was fun, and I enjoyed every minute. AJ looked great in her return. The only thing that I would say was maybe her punches, but that's kind of in her whole character is that she's a crazy person, and her just going and winging the punches like this. Can't see me, but just over the head and hoping something hits was funny, and it works for her character. Give her some time; she'll be back. It's been 10 years. She still is great in the ring, and right team won. CM Punk is the biggest wife guy I think ever, and that simple as that. Brandon, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, for what it was, and we expected it to be AJ's, knocking off the rust match. Like she did very well for being 10 years away. It'll be interesting to see how she continues to compete against this clearly different breed of women's wrestler that has been around the block now and has like really fleshed this game out since she left.
If she can look that good against basically the best in the business for the past 10 years, she'll be fine.
Well, and Becky too is like a very safe worker too. Like she, in spite of like the shit that she took, like with the nose and everything, that kind of would lead you to believe that like she's a little rough on the edges with things. Or Well, I guess Nia would, be more.
Nia
Well,
broke Becky's nose.
how is Becky's face to be blamed in that scenario?
Yeah, no, I was going
Nia
down a
punched
road and I
Becky.
backtracked. Yeah, I clearly rescind that statement, but no. To the point I was making initially, no, Becky's a very safe worker, and she's a very like AJ even went online, broke character to thank everybody in that match for taking such good care of her, which is
Including
not to
Larry.
her character. Yeah, Larry in some way, shape. But no, like it was good on her character, and it's really just shows like how good Seth and Becky are as workers to, take someone like AJ, who I'm sure was also nervous as shit, especially like we brought up her injuries and stuff. And they worked that match. They worked a good 20 plus minutes.
30,
Punk
basically 30
obviously,
minutes. It was basically a 30-minute match.
yeah, yeah, I mean, did it drag? Yeah, hell yeah. But like, I mean, when you stop and you sit back and you look at the bigger picture of it, like this is really like AJ's coming back into things and getting the scent of everything again. And we're gonna see more of AJ Lee for sure in the ring. I feel like this is only it's like when AJ Styles came to WWE and people are like, oh, he's like dicking around with Jericho and he's doing this stuff, da da da. But then he becomes WWE champion and the rest is history after that. So I feel like you're going to see a similar kind of trajectory with AJ Lee.
You need a warm up before you get to go to bat. It's just
exactly
easiest way to put it.
Yep.
Well, and it'll be super interesting for all the dream matches she has lined up.
Yeah. This match was fun. Like, you did it go on. I think it went on longest at the beginning, where you had Seth and
they were dragging that
Punk.
hot tag.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But like that probably went a little longer than it should have. But it was peak comedy. Like comedy and like a sports entertainment. Like they were doing all kinds of crazy shit. I was laughing at a bunch of the stuff. I was impressed by a bunch of the
I've
stuff.
never wanted CM Punk to hit a GTS on somebody more than Becky Lynch in this match.
I still wanted to see Seth stomp AJ Lee just for like the reactions and all that. It didn't happen, but we did get it was all women on man violence, which I mean probably
we got a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
We had
Black Widow.
Seth and the Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like it was a good fun match.
Yeah,
Did it go long, maybe?
Were,
but it was just
on point for Becky and Seth. If you ever watched the first Power Rangers movie, you would know.
They were apparently those colors were for suicide awareness.
I did see that. Yep. Shout out to them. It did look like Ivan Ooze at first take, but
I mean,
like wild.
Why not pick a better villain? I mean,
yeah, the best.
We had the
of
metallic
any
Power
villain
Rangers
ever.
in that movie.
Yeah.
Those suits in that movie look like shit. Just want to say.
They sure did. Main event. For everything good that we've said about matches that have been shit on, this one deserved all the shit ons that it got, I do believe. Cody Rhodes defeated Drew McIntyre in 17 minutes in a very, very, very disappointing main event, if you ask me.
The match was fine, but it was the wrong winner. And it just... Have you guys ever heard the story about the ref who fucked on Ted DiBiase? That's what the ref did to Drew McIntyre on Saturday. The ref was just screwing him. Like, it was... It felt like it was like a conspiracy that the ref didn't want him to win. Like, he screwed him over trying to do the Claymore through the table, and then when he finally gets through, Cody had enough time to get okay. Like, this should have been Drew winning the title. I don't care that Cody won it last month. Like, we just saw a year plus long Cody reign. And again, Cody's a very good champion. He's a good QB1. He's a deserving face of the company. But Drew should have won here. Everything was leading to a Drew win. Commentary was talking about how Drew basically was pointing to a Drew win, and then Cody just won.
Yeah, well, how can you, and I think part of the reason here that you Drew didn't win is how do you do a Drew versus Seth match at Crown Jewel, which is fucking stupid, but they booked themselves in a corner with how they'd set up these shows. That match doesn't really work.
Right? Well, I kind of think this was supposed to be maybe a Saturday Night's Main Event, and then ESPN's like, hey, we need a PLE. So, and if this is a Saturday Night's Main Event, then fine, but like, it's such a disappointing end to a fun show. Like, and it's nothing on Drew, it's nothing on Cody. It's just, it's a deflating end. And that sucks. Like, it sucks real bad because those two are two of the best wrestlers in the world. So,
Yeah, it seemed like the crowd wanted to do a "This is awesome" chant near the end there, but like it was just so like quarter-assed. And Wade was fuming about all the ref shenanigans, holding him back from his deserved title win. Um, yeah, Drew versus Seth would have been an interesting crown jewel match. Don't know how they would have gotten that to work other than WrestleMania 40 rematch, but what's the point of that, right? Like Drew already won that. So Seth Cody makes sense because the fact that, Cody's whole return was bolstered by the fact that he beat Seth,
Three
one of the
times.
best in the world at that time too, three times consecutively.
Yeah.
Consecutively.
Once
And
with the
with the
torn pec.
torn pec in
once
Hell in a
with one
Cell.
boob.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, especially with Seth, like who could use a bit of development in that direction. I feel like as his character goes, and two, it'll be nice to see. Well, it's a defense for Cody, right? But it would be nice to see the World Heavyweight Championship getting some shine relative to the WWE Championship. I mean, apart from the fact that it's
I
already
mean,
being
I think
featured
it
more.
has, though.
it's on Netflix. They could have moved the WWE Championship to Netflix, but it's been the World
I'm
Heavyweight
very
Championship.
surprised they
So
haven't.
the World Heavyweight Championship right now, I feel, is like a better championship than the WWE. And that's no disrespect to Cena or Cody, but the way that it's been booked this year, the World Heavyweight Championship has been one of the most featured titles on TV.
And brought some of the better stories and matches, right? Like,
Yeah, yeet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I just think of like the fact that, Cena and Cody have had the stranglehold on that belt, that it's kind of like a quality over quantity thing where it's like Cena and Cody are like the two top dudes in the company. And then you can have Gunter and Jay and Seth and all that and Punk, vying for the World Heavyweight Championship. But at the end of the day, like it's Cody and Cena on the other end. And while it's getting more feature, on TV and everything else, like there's still, it's kind of like when Roman had it. Like it's obviously not like one-of-one comparison, but like Roman being on on TV, even not as much as Seth. Seth was on TV all the time, but you knew which championship was more valuable, more sought after at the end of the day.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but like currently, if I'm a professional wrestler, I'd want to go after the Workhorse Championship versus the one that's just never shown. And it sucks because the WWE Championship is the most prestigious belt in professional wrestling, bar none. But I mean, the World Heavyweight Championship is more shown. You see it all the time, and it's on a better show. SmackDown has been categorically shit for a while.
Is it defended in
That's
open
true.
challenges on weekly television against nobodies?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But AEW though.
Overall score for the.
I mean, it makes sense for Hangman to do that just to be, But Lee Moriarty should not be touching that title because he's currently a champion in dead promotion. So,
Score for the show.
I'm gonna give it a 6. That ending was just really deflating for me.
Yeah, the ending was bad. I agree. Brandon?
6 also.
Yeah, it was a 6 for me too.
Would you say it's a C,
solid
like
C.
ESPN did, that everybody thinks is a big deal, even though it's one person's fucking opinion? You goddamn marks.
Yeah, they're idiots. What else is new? The IWC makes themselves look like idiots for another day. Ooh.
It's just fucking morons.
Idiots.
Everywhere.
We're going to power through NXT No Mercy predictions here, so I do not want big dialogue associated with any of these stories. We're just going to say what the matches are, who you think is going to win. It is this Saturday at the FTL War Memorial in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 6 matches on the show.
I wonder if Najee's going to go.
He probably will. It's in Florida. Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs.
Javon Evans should win.
Yeah.
Javon Evans. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage match.
Okay, I don't want to go too long, but the way they built this on Tuesday was really stupid. They're like, you guys are going to have a weapons match. What the fuck is a weapons match? It's a no DQ match. It's everything else. A weaponized steel cage is something different. So that's interesting. I think Jordan should win, but I think Blake will.
I think Jordan Grace wins Lethal Lockdown.
Oh, come on.
I do also think Jordan Grace wins this match. She got to get a big win
It's
at
a
some
lethal
point,
lockdown
right?
It's not lethal lockdown.
It is a
Don't
weaponized
even bring
steel
that
cage
shit in.
match. For
Mm.
the North American Championship, Ethan Page defends against Tavion Heights.
I want Tavion to win, but I think Ethan's going to win based on what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah, the network likes Ethan too much at this point. Ethan.
I think Tavion's going to win this match. Ethan is capable of doing more than a mid-card title on NXT. For the
True.
Women's Speed Championship, Sol Ruka defends against Lainey Reed.
I don't care. So Sol Ruka.
What the fuck?
That's no disrespect to either of them,
This
but
is
like
so
it's
stupid.
it's the Speed Championship. I don't give a shit.
Laney can win if only to free up Soul
Yes,
for the
I
NXT Women's
agree. Lainey
Championship.
can win to free up Sol. For the NXT Women's Championship, JC Jane defends against Lola Vice.
I think Lola is going to win here because JC is not going to feud with Blake Monroe. So
Valid.
Yeah. Lola's getting a good push. She's in AAA. I think bringing the NXT Women's Championship there, great. Lola.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'll go with Lola too. I was originally going to say JC retains, but I think I agree with those arguments. And Ope-Eh defends the NXT Championship against Ricky Saints.
it's kind of tough. I'm gonna say Ricky. I'm gonna go with Ricky. I think Oba loses here.
Damn. Okay.
I think it'll be close. It'll be very, very close, but I think Oba pulls out.
I can't see every title changing on this show. Not that the women's North American title is being defended or the tag titles.
The Speed Championship does not matter. Let's just
Sure.
if that changes hands, it doesn't change anything.
I think Oba retains. That is it. We have covered 3 shows. Took a little bit longer than probably we would have liked to have. We're over an hour and a half right now. Only
As
other
long
thing
as we went in a while.
didn't talk about was Asuka and maybe to a lesser extent, not by choice, but Kairi Sane turning heel on Raw.
I mean, we expected it. If anything, I'd want to talk about that mist because goddamn, Mommy turned into Blue Mommy.
She turned into a Smurf, but not small.
Literally, she was Smurfette.
No.
Smurf giant. I don't know what they would call her.
Maybe like what are they called in what's the Frost Giants? She looked like a Frost Giant from Loki's
That's very
race.
accurate. Yeah.
That's the coloring there. Looked very much like a Frost Giant.
Well, you know what they say. I'm Blue Abadiba Die. So.
No, well, it's true.
Do they say that now?
Shout out to Eiffel 65.
I think that's it.
This is the kind of cultured content we need.
Yes.
We gotta talk about the late '90s weird fucking music that they had.
No, we don't. We need to close.
We didn't have to talk about fantasy football either, Donnie.
Yeah, but it was relevant to the conversation. It involved us directly, aka me talking shit about your team. Please let our listeners know what your record is right now.
I have nothing else to say. Brandon, do you?
Oh man, I want to jump into that pool.
Fucking
yeah. No, I'm just enjoying myself here, boys. Yeah, no, was the highlight of my experience as I'm eating a nice little succulent Chinese meal. Watching Donnie pick apart your fantasy mishaps.
In fairness, he said when he presented his team, "Don't hold back."
I did. Because again,
you knew it was
fantasy
coming.
football is not a real thing, and it's not going to hurt my feelings.
I suppose. Well, it's good that you have that kind of,
At the end of the day, the most I would lose is $40. Like,
it's nothing.
Okay,
I think you're getting more comedy out of me than you are value out of that $40 anyway.
Yes, because once we talked about it, where you're like, "Oh, somebody was talking shit," and you're like, "Was it me?" I was like, "No, you just talk shit to talk shit in general."
Yeah. Fun.
All right, Don, you got anything else?
No.
I'll send us home.
He's 0-3 by the way, everyone.
I don't even know what you just said. Make sure to
Must have
like
been
and
a fantasy.
subscribe. We want to see some new people here. Remember, we are your favorite podcast. And thanks as always for stopping into the Ope 3-Way. Have a beer on us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.